everyone, welcome back to Fanservice South by Southwest Film Festival Live. I'm one of your hosts, Gavin Stone, joined by
Chris-Rachael, and we have the exciting...
My name is Paul Collins. I'm the director of Yakona.
And my name is Clint McCrocklin, and I am one of the producers of Yakona.
So let's tell everyone who's watching and listening, what is Yakona?
So Yakona is a nature documentary, but it's an experimental documentary. It's not your traditional narrator telling you what you're seeing. We have an impressionistic journey going from the headwaters of the San Marcos River all the way to the ocean. We go through time periods, seasons. We have reenactments of the past, from Native Americans fighting settlers to Clovis Indians and spear points and all sorts of fun. So
yeah, we've got actually like a turtle that gets a duck at the end and kind of like brings it down underneath the waters. And so if you want to see what happens to the duck, you're going to have to watch the movie.
Does the duck live? Does the duck buy him chicken nuggets?
Well, if you wait for after the credits, if you stay through the credits,
yes,
you'll get to see what happens to the duck. I can't tell you what happens. But
Okay, from the way they're acting, I'm expecting this duck is going to end up on a sandwich.
I'm guessing it's probably going to be, barbecued and filleted somewhere. The turtle's like, yep, you only thought you were going to get away
See, the
today.
thing is, it's on the San Marcos River, so it's already been pre-moisture, not pre-moisture, but pre-digested by the acids. That are in there.
Oh, it's going to end up in a co-ed's dinner plate somewhere, right?
It could be. Yeah, you never know.
Marinated in beer from floating down the river.
That's right.
well, we hope you go to the movie so you can find out.
Well, choosing to make a documentary about the San Marcos River is kind of an interesting subject because it is the party river. You've got
Sure.
from when it gets hot outside till it gets cold outside for 2 weeks, people are flocked on that river, urinating in it, drinking in it, floating in it.
You should know this man is terrified of water. Just so you know.
I don't go in water because it's a fish urinal. That's the way I look at it.
There's lots of things you might not know about the San Marcos River. For one thing, what Paul talked about was that it's actually at the banks, or the Spring Lake, what they call Spring Lake, and basically there they've got it's some of the oldest and habitated places like in North America. So there have been humans there for millions of years, and basically that section of it is like a really awesome section because there are like different endangered species there, and we're trying to just show people what kind of beauty is actually in the San Marcos River. Now there are things like you're describing that people do float down the river. They love the river. We all love the river, but there's a lot of special features of the river that I don't think really get highlighted, and that's really what we wanted to do in this film.
Were you guys inspired by the fact that when people think San Marcos, they immediately think nothing but just party barges floating down?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I really believe that the San Marcos River is one of the most underappreciated places in Texas.
Really?
And it's one of the only rivers in Texas that's never dried up, so it has a history that we just forgot.
Yeah.
See, I actually have a master's in history, so I love the whole idea that you're taking this from the Clovis people forwards. Was there any particular point of it that you looked at and went, I had no idea before you got started on the project?
I mean, definitely. I mean, the whole idea of the film was this journey of discovery and meeting people that I would never imagine to meet, and it changed my life. And it's just, I mean, I knew that place was special, and I got special scuba scientific diving certification so I could go to places where the public's not allowed, which blew my mind. But just understanding not only how special that place is, but that it's hanging on a thread. And if we don't really understand it and start feeling an empathy to find balance and save this place, we might lose it before we realize how special this place is.
See, I think a lot of people don't consider that because we think of rivers as being this eternal source. And as you were saying, this is one of the only ones that hasn't dried up in Texas. Tell us a little bit about some of what makes this river so different.
Sure. Well, like Clint was saying, I mean, this possibly could be the oldest neighborhood in North America. I mean, there's a little bit of debate on that, but there's evidence that points to that. Another thing, it's got endangered species there that live nowhere else on the planet. In one particular, there's a Texas wild rice. There's only 4 species of wild rice on the planet, 1 in China, 2 in Canada and northern U.S., and then just 1 in San Marcos.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a very special plant. And what's even more special about it, I like to call it the canary in the coal mine because it doesn't allow San Antonio to pump the aquifer dry because it needs a certain amount of water flow. So they are basically tapped out because the wild rice needs to have the water flow. So
And they're allowing that?
well, it's federally protected. So the federal government says you can't take so much water out because this rice will die. So the rice protects the river, which protects the community. So it's very special.
That's awesome because San Antonio could just live off the San Antonio River, which is brown and
Right.
made up. As you looked at these things and you discovered like the wild rice and the history behind it, is this what you like normally want to do? You want to go make like educational documentaries kids will watch on film reels in school?
Well, it's actually funny because I'll say this. You know, I came in on the project a little later, but Paul and Onlo, the directors, actually had this vision for the last 12 years. They'd been wanting to do this for a very long time, and they'd kind of been talking about it. And actually, when they told me about it, and I got to see some of the footage they were doing, we were just kind of taken back and blown away by it. It was gorgeous, and so at that point, that's when they kind of had, you know, put all this blood, sweat, and tears into this project, and they kind of came to a point where they were like, we can't take this any farther. And then that's basically when the producers came in and we helped raise enough funds to actually get finished post-production on it, and we had to do coloring and sound design and music and things like that, and the community really came together. We raised over $50,000 for the project through Indiegogo. So
Indiegogo's fantastic.
yes, they are. Yes, they're excellent. We've gotten to work with them, and we actually saw them at the festival earlier today, and they're great people. We had a really good time hanging out with them earlier.
So you mentioned that you guys actually were partnered with some Native American nations. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. We partnered with the Indigenous Cultures Institute of San Marcos. It's headed by Dr. Mario Garza. And they've been doing a lot of research in the area. They are right now doing research that is starting to realize that this place could be the center of a 4,000-year-old creation story, where they believe their people came out of the earth through the springs. So we're talking about their Garden of Eden in San Marcos. Yeah. So,
wow, that's actually pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's some serious history.
Oh, it is. I think it's one of the most secret, untold Texas history stories that we might be telling in our next documentary.
Who knows?
So speaking of which, can you give us an idea of what you'll be working on next?
Well, there's many things, and actually that is one of them. We the other director, Onlo, we're working with some of the indigenous cultures people about telling some of their stories. So that's one project that we're kind of working on. There's some other things, but I want to copyright them before I talk about them.
Yeah, because we're totally intellectual property stealers. We're totally not gonna hey, they came out of the ground.
Great
We
idea.
would do
No, keep
such
talking.
a good job
Can you-
making this
I
film.
know.
Can
Would
you
there be,
spell that out for me real quick? That'd be great.
I would totally have
Thanks.
explosions and puppets in it. You know.
So if people are really intrigued by this, as you should be, because I can't wait to see it myself, where can they see it?
Well, we're going to be going to our premiere right after this, so it's tonight, Saturday at the Marchesa at 9:30 p.m.
Yes.
It's a smaller theater, but if you show up there an hour earlier, you could probably get tickets to get in. Or if you're a badge member, you'd probably for sure to get in. Our big premiere, which will let Clinton announce.
Yeah, we're actually going to be premiering at the Paramount this Tuesday at 11 a.m. So you guys should definitely come check it out. We've got 1,100 seats. There's been a lot of buzz. We got a lot of the community kind of outreaching for us, and they, they have. We've got at least 300 people signed up, ready to go already.
Fantastic.
So I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a lot of great support.
And has it been picked up? Is it available for people to watch that aren't lucky enough to be here at South by Southwest?
Well, I can tell you this: as soon as South by Southwest is open, we're bringing it back to San Marcos, and we're gonna have local premieres for free.
Excellent.
Yes,
So,
our world premiere is at South by Southwest, and then we're just kind of talking and seeing what happens next.
And so we're also kind of negotiating a on the banks of the river screening with possibly a live score.
yes,
I would love that.
I wonder if
Let
people
us
will
know
look at it.
if
yes,
that happens.
absolutely, yes, we will.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show. Have a
Yeah,
great
of
time at
course.
South by Southwest. And last question: after your premiere, is the duck going to make a surprise appearance on stage and do interviews?
Well,
Well,
I will tell you this. This is actually the drawing of the turtle and the duck. And so
That's
if
one
you want to
mean
know what
turtle.
happens to it, please come out tonight and watch it all the way through. You'll love it. I promise you.
all right. Well, have a great time. We look forward to seeing what comes out of it in the future, especially in San Marcos, because I think they really need that, so they get people out of the river that are idiots.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you have a great
pleasure.
day.
Have
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.